welcome in mobilers. Happy Saturday. My name's Fareed here. As a part of today's video, we're diving into World Mobile. Super excited to have you guys all here with me. As a part of this really special episode, though, I'll be joined by my regular co-host, and then we've got a couple of special guests. So without any further ado, let me bring up the first co-host. We've got Rob from LLAP. Rob, welcome up. How are you, man?
How's it going? Good to see you.
It's always a pleasure to see you. You're rocking the jersey today, man. Looking nice and fresh. How's your day going so far?
Good. My boy had a couple of YMCA flag football games where he tore it up today, and looks like Nebraska just woke up in the second half, and they're looks like they're going to win the game that's happening right now. I don't feel too bad about not following that game though, because it's on Peacock, which is one of those paid for networks I don't have. So I'm happy to be here full attention because I can't be watching the rest of the game. So, all right. Good job, Peacock.
We're happy to have you here. I know football is one of your big priorities.
Nebraska football. Just Nebraska football.
We'll try not to slow you down here today. It's always a good time having you on here again. Thank you for making the time to jump on and talk about WMT, which I think moving forward, let's be WMTX. So without any further ado, though, we are joined by a long co-host who's taking a break, but he's back. So without any further ado, let's bring him up here, man. We've got Manny, aka the Web3 Catholic Community Manager for World Mobile.
Hey, GM. How's everyone doing?
GM, we're doing great, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it's great to be back. It's great to be back at a time when it's the most exciting for both the community and for World Mobile and World Mobile Token. So yeah, loving it at the moment. And obviously there's a lot of questions, both on practicalities of what's happening and how it's going to impact the future of World Mobile and World Mobile Token. So definitely keen to get those questions answered.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think, a really big update. And to be fully fair, I mean, my entire timeline has been flooded with WMT and WMTX related posts for like the past 5 or 6 days. And so from a marketing and a planning perspective, I think you guys have knocked it out of the park. I'm seeing the biggest KOLs out there speaking about WMT, the WMTX migration, and then most notably, even some of the bigger dexes, right, from the base ecosystem also jumping in, making a lot of noise. So I think there's a lot to break down. There's obviously some migration guides and some different resources that I would like for you to go ahead and sort of highlight for the community. But before we do that, I mean, again, you've been gone for a little bit. Maybe we can just start off with a brief reintroduction for anybody who might be seeing you or hearing you for the first time, and a little bit about what you do for the World Mobile community, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Emmanuel, or as Rob has named me, Manny. The Web3 Cat also. I'm the community manager here at World Mobile. I sit on the marketing team, obviously helping with the community. That's the main thing, but also with speaking to KOLs, with other partners, etc., etc. So anything I can to spread the World Mobile message and get people into the community and keep you guys engaged is what I'm here to do.
All right, perfect, nice and simple. And for anybody who wants to not just join Manny, but just join the entire World Mobile community, the official links to their Discord, Twitter, all of that good stuff, including the WMA, the World Mobile Alliance, is also left down there at the very bottom of today's video description. That said, we are still waiting on Clover. So for anybody who's wondering about, for anybody who's worrying about where he's at, he will be joining us here hopefully soon. But that said, I mean, let's jump into today's conversation. And for the viewers, if you guys want to go ahead and number one, make sure to smash that thumbs up. Number two, if you aren't a member or if you aren't a subscriber here, consider subscribing. But the number three, because we have Manny here, right? You guys are able to get direct questions from somebody on the actual World Mobile team. So this is the perfect time to go ahead and to begin to think about those hard questions that you might have. Leave them in the live chat. If you're watching as a part of the replay, leave a comment. We'll be monitoring those, making sure to go ahead and answer as many of those as possible. Now, again, let's just jump straight on in. WMTX, Manny. Do you mind breaking down, number one, why do we need WMTX? And then number two, why the rebrand? And again, I know that there's a couple of different portions here. There's been some teasers, not just for the brand new ticker, but I think a brand new logo. So I'm not going to interrupt. I'll let you do the talking here. But as you're doing that, I'm going to pull up some content, and then Rob will come over to you for some additional thoughts.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I guess let's start with the basics. So what is WMTX? WMTX is the new multi-chain token and ticker for World Mobile Token. So the idea is that as WMT right now is only native to Cardano, WMTX will be native to Cardano and to ERC20, so in the EVM side, which allows us to enter ecosystems like BNB Chain and Base and others in the future. So WMTX is really that X stands for cross-chain, multi-chain. It's us going broader into the crypto ecosystem, because really what we want to do is we want to bring the whole Web3 ecosystem on our mission to connect the unconnected, and also announce ourselves as the kings of DePin. So that is what it is. That's why we're doing it. I've forgotten your last question.
I think you hit it. So question number one was, what is WMTX? And number two, why the move? But before we just go any further, we do have a twin joining us here. So Rob's twin, aka Clover Nodes, is in the house. Let me go ahead and bring him up here. You guys look lovely, man. You guys coordinate this.
Oh my God, I'm dying laughing backstage because I see Rob wearing the same shirt, and I'm like, what can you say? Great minds think alike.
Every time.
It never fails. It's funny because, hi, by the way. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing good. Hi, Emmanuel. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. We missed you.
I missed you too, man.
It's funny because, there's hints out there, that there might be a new logo, right? And I was like, hey, I might as well just wear this shirt because this logo might be gone now. So it's like, man, I want to wear this shirt a few more times, So
You've got 2 days left. Go ahead and rock that shirt as much as you want. Just make sure you sure you wash it. Just make sure you wash it.
No, it's nice and clean.
I'm picking on you. All right. So we've discussed a little bit about WMTX. Manny, in terms of just like messaging, right? What are some of the biggest points that you guys are trying to really get out there? Again, we've got a lot of really solid questions coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and sort of gather a little bit of those. But you've talked about what the actual X stands for, which, if anybody isn't aware, that was actually like my first time hearing that. So like I've seen comments on my YouTube videos asking, what does the X actually stand for? And if I'm not mistaken, you just mentioned that actually stands for multi-chain. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. So sort of going back to what I said in the intro, right now we're only native to Cardano, but we want to be native to WMTX is going to be native to Ethereum as well, ERC20, which opens up the Base ecosystem and the BNB ecosystem, as well as the wider Ethereum ecosystem. And in the future, we might be native to other chains as well, and other ecosystems. So, we really wanted to, there was a lot of deliberation within the team as to what the new ticker should be and what the new, the X and all of that. And there were some really interesting, let's say, suggestions beforehand, but I'm super glad we've landed on X, because it's not just, it's not just about multi-chain in terms of a branding and narrative. Like, the biggest community ecosystem in the space is Twitter, X now as it is, and it's going wild on socials and all of that sort of stuff. So we really wanted to both emphasize that we're going cross-chain, but also tap into that audience that is a natural fit for our community. So yeah, I love the name. It looks good on paper and the logo.
I do too. And again, I'm excited to see exactly what is revealed on the 30th. That said, maybe we just start off with some of the basic information. Do you mind breaking down when the official portal opens up, what people can do? And then, as we sort of progress, I want to talk about like a little bit more of the advanced details, right? So obviously right now, the biggest focus is the portal, the migration, but then maybe opportunities on the back end as well, right? So for the viewers that aren't aware, are you able to break down some of the basics around the one-to-one migration, what wallets are supported, when the actual portal opens, when it closes, all of that good stuff?
Sure, yeah. So the migration portal will open on Monday at 11 a.m. UTC. And what that portal will be, it will allow anyone who's currently a World Mobile holder to either choose to remain on Cardano. So even if you want to remain on Cardano, you have to use the portal to swap WMT for WMTX. or migrate their tokens over to Base, BNB, or Ethereum. So that is what's happening on Monday, 11 a.m. UTC. And the link will be shared only in our Discord, so in the migration channels. The reason why we're doing that is because we want to limit the, the areas where scammers can take opportunities of, links coming from everywhere, etc., etc. So if you're not already in our Discord server, please join our Discord server. You can also speak directly to the team if you need any support during the migration or upgrade process.
Perfect. I'd love to maybe jump into opinions and perspectives here. So, Rob, you're a Earth node operator. Hopefully, you'll soon be an Air node operator. What are you most excited about when it comes to WMTX? I know that the WMA has a couple of things up their sleeves, but this is a really big opportunity, right? And so, looking at it, from multiple perspectives, your personal, branding, Trek, obviously the WMA, like how are you approaching this, and maybe what are some of your thoughts? And then Clover will come to you in just a couple of minutes as well.
Well, from very early on, from about the time I got into World Mobile, we started trying to find ways to build the community, and that's where the alliance came from. And so, building the community has been a very important thing for myself, for Cal, for Clover, and also for you as well. You do a lot of brand recognition, or attempt to get brand recognition by all of the videos that you do all the time on World Mobile. I think it's very important that we are able to push out and reach as many people as possible. What I love about this migration, what I love about expanding where we're at, what our, no pun intended, but where our base is, trying to get more people involved, because this is truly the community is what matters to World Mobile. That's where the sharing economy comes from. That's where you find the client base, you find the token holders, you find the people who are going to run and operate the network. It's all based on community, whether it's people who buy in first to the token and then expand outwards to the other infrastructure, or it's people that come in as customers and they buy in from a utility standpoint, where they are getting the internet, they are getting cellular coverage, and then maybe they want to branch out to become infrastructure owners and dive more into maybe the crypto side of things. So the goal here is to expand the community, and that's what the alliance is doing. So I'm really excited because we're taking the amazing group of people that we have, and some of my close friends, some of the people I just truly care deeply about, I've met because of this community. And so knowing that we can take what we have and grow that and pull from other crypto communities, and not have to be like some chain maxi type of a token. We can be on Cardano, we can be on Ethereum, we can reach out to the Binance community, and we can become a part of this entire thing. The users of Coinbase are gonna have access to what we're doing. So I think just growing the community, building the alliance, and trying to get as many people involved as we can. I think when you see that to me right now is more important than number go up. That to me right now is more important than maybe getting a return on air nodes right off the bat. I think, because I believe the bigger this gets, the more all of that is going to explode. So I think as this thing grows, I'm really anxious to get to know the community over at Base, people who are more, say, ETH focused than maybe some of our community members are now, just because I want to get to know them. I want them to be able to come in and be supported by the alliance, and hopefully feel very, very comfortable finding a home here with World Mobile because of WMTX and because of the expansion that we're doing with the token side to really build up and move this thing forward.
And I don't want to jump the gun, but I think that the WMA again has a couple of things up their sleeves to make that integration a little bit easier, right? Not just for the Cardano community, but for anybody else who's coming from those new ecosystems that WMTX will be available in. And so without any further ado, Clover, I'd like to jump over to you, and then Manny will circle back over to you to talk a little bit about some of the, again, supported wallets. We'll talk about the actual bridge versus the portal. And then we'll take a couple of community questions here. There's been a few that have already come in. And again, as a brief reminder for the viewers, leave those questions in the live chat right now. Again, it's not every day that we get access to Manny, so we want to go ahead and make sure to pose as many of those as possible. And then as people are coming in here, I do also want to just reiterate the fact that the team has put together an FAQ. So if you take a look right now, I've just left a comment in the live chat there, pointing you guys to the official World Mobile Token FAQ for the upcoming migration. Make sure to check that out. That's got a lot of really exciting information. But of course, again, that may not necessarily cover everything. And if you have some of those edge cases or some of those questions that may not be answered on that FAQ, now would be a perfect time to pose those over to Manny. But again, before we jump over to Manny, Clover, what are your thoughts about WMTX? What are you looking forward to? What's got you most excited?
Yeah. A lot of things are getting me excited when it comes to WMTX, right? I mean, you guys touched up on a few things, such as one of the things being the ticker change, right? We no longer going to get confused with Walmart. We're going to be different now. WMTX everywhere. But there's a few things I want to touch a point on. Like, for example, and the first thing is that World Mobile obviously has the best talent on their team, right? World Mobile has the best plan how to connect the many people around the world that are currently not connected and lack connectivity, right? Through the sharing economy, which was evident from all the nodes selling within 11 minutes or less, right? And we obviously have the best community. We've won multiple polls on X, and that's evident. And now going multi-chain, we're going to be welcoming a lot of different people from different communities and the likes of, Binance, Ethereum base, and many other chains that we're going to be connected to hopefully in the future. So in general, a lot of different things excite me about the token itself, right? It comes like liquidity is one of them, and just different things. But mostly what excites me is connecting with other people in other communities. And I know, Rob, you touched that a little bit with the Alliance and what we have done with the Alliance, but I've also met a lot of different people from our community. I've made really good relationship. Rob, Fareed, Manny, I've obviously known you guys from World Mobile, and I've met some of you guys in person, but I'm looking forward to just meeting new people, just making these connections. And I feel like I've met so many amazing people, and I've built such great relationships for the few years that I've been in this ecosystem. But I'm really looking forward to fostering a lot of these new connections now that we're going to be welcoming a lot of different communities. So that's what I'm mostly looking forward to.
Nicely put. And before we move any further, I just want to get the community ready. So we've just got word that Head Honcho, aka Mickey Watkins, will be joining us here live in about 10 to 15 minutes. Again, guys, it's not every day that we get the opportunity to speak to founders at such pivotal and critical times such as this. So please make sure to smash that thumbs up. Make sure to share this out. Let's get in as many people here as possible ahead of hearing from Mickey himself. But before we go any further, I do want to bring up Manny again. We've got a couple of quick questions here. Manny, it'd be great if you could maybe tackle some of these here. Again, if some of them have already been answered in the FAQ, make sure to go ahead and let the community know. And I've already shared that link down below. So the first one coming in here from Keith Ganley. So earlier, Manny, you mentioned the fact that official links for the migration will be shared in the Discord. What about for anybody who maybe just doesn't have a Discord right now or isn't able to actually join the Discord server? And before anybody asks, I did go ahead and actually the official link to the Discord in the live chat. So make sure to go ahead and check that out. I'll make sure that it's available in the video description following this live stream here. But Manny, are there any alternatives for anybody who wants to still get all the information about WMTX, but maybe isn't available in Discord?
So the link will also be updated on in the FAQs, so on the worldmobiletoken.com and on the main page on worldmobiletoken.com. However, the reason why we're directing people to Discord is because we've set up specific guardrails to prevent scammers getting access to One, the information quickly so they can start spoofing portals, etc., which has already happened. And two, so that underneath, what we've seen so far is, especially on X and in Telegram, is underneath every sort of request for help and support, there's scammers going in there, DMing people and trying to take advantage. We have a specific set of channels that we've created in Discord, the Migration Support Hub channels, where all of the team members will be in there, and we'll be looking at all the questions that come through, any issues that come through, and looking to address them from what we can see in there. So even if you're not used to using Discord, it might be a good idea to create a Discord just for this and get in contact with the team there if you have any issues. But even if you really don't want to do that, just keep a look out FAQs on the website, and the token portal will be updated there.
Thank you. And for Keith, the official link to the FAQ guide is in the live chat there. I'll repost it here in just a couple of minutes, but make sure to go ahead and check that out and make sure to only be pulling information from official sources. The next question coming in here from Funny, and I believe that this was sort of discussed a little bit, but if you could, Manny, just quickly recap, right, what it's needed for anybody who wants to transition from WMT to WMTX on Cardano. Is there hardware wallet support? I know you guys are working right now with Eternal, but could you maybe break down some of those facts there as well?
Yeah, so Ledger and Trezor are compatible as well. There is a how-to guide in the token FAQs that the link has been shared, I believe, in this chat here already, and that will just walk everyone through the process. And hardware wallets those two hardware wallets are supported. We've done testing for it, and we found no issues. So yeah, like I said, again, if you have any, if you do run into issues when trying with a hardware wallet, hop into the Discord and speak to our team, and we'll help you through that.
All right. Thank you. The next one, a slightly off topic, but I think, since you're here, maybe it's a good one to bring up. There have been 2 batches or 2 drops for air nodes. We actually just saw Nuvula yesterday mentioning that they're now participating with the batch of air nodes for Pakistan. Anything that you can share about that upcoming airdrop? And sort of maybe where that falls in terms of like priorities. Obviously, the migration, I think, is number 1, but what comes after the migration in perspective to the next batch of air nodes?
So, yeah, I mean, the plan is to go super hard in terms of OPAN in Q4 and going into next year. So there's lots of things to come in there. Obviously, we've had batch 1 and we've had batch 2 drop 1. The next one will be batch 2 drop 2. And that will mostly be an extension of batch 2 drop 1. There's a lot of different numbers here, and then yeah, batch 3 will come after that. So that's just the order of things. In terms of the whitelist won't be open until we're ready to open the site itself. So maybe a week or so beforehand. But if you're really interested, I know a lot of you have probably seen Navola, you've seen House of Titan, saying stuff about nodes in Pakistan online. If you're really interested in apexes, links, portals, etc., or anything to do with the Pakistan infrastructure, just get in touch and we will put you on a list to show your interest.
Perfect. And thank you. I think we've discussed that list before, but for anybody who isn't aware, let me go ahead and actually bring that up. So you can get access to AirNote sales at join.worldmobile.io. This website here breaks everything down. As Manny just mentioned, batch 2 drop 1 officially sold out. But I believe once the next batch is available, this website here will be updated. So make sure to go ahead and check that out. I'll go ahead and leave the link to that, as always, in the live chat here for anybody who's with us live. Now, we've got an additional question coming. Oh, sorry. I was getting a little bit of feedback there. It looks like, hello, mic check, mic check. Okay, the feedback is gone. I do apologize for that. So we got an additional question coming in here from Srikanth Manan asking about liquidity. So how is WMTX liquidity generated on other chains? Will current holders on Cardano have to move their tokens to other chains? I believe I can answer the second portion. It's up to the token holder, right? So if you are in Cardano and you want to keep your tokens on Cardano, you have the ability to do so. If you're on Cardano and want to move to Base, ETH, or BNB, you can also do that during the actual migration process. Now, earlier, I also mentioned a bridge. So Manny, this might actually be a good opportunity to maybe distinguish, between the portal, the migration, and bridging, right? So if I'm not mistaken, the portal closes down on the 21st of October. What happens with the bridge? And for anybody who has migrated to WMTX that wants to move from Cardano to another ecosystem after the portal has closed. So I know it's two questions coming at you here. We're really trying to make sure that we're squeezing you for all the juice that you can provide us. But number one, liquidity, and then number two, any information that you can share about the bridge, and then we'll go back over to Clover and Rob.
Yeah, no problem. So in terms of liquidity, obviously, in natural economic sort of forces will drive liquidity to wherever is most popular. But we're also working with a number of liquidity providers for each ecosystem to ensure that there's some liquidity there, not just for people who might want to migrate. I think most of our community, according to the polling we've done, will stay on Cardano anyway, but for new entrants, so they can have access to WMTX as well. But in terms of just on the point you made, Fareed, earlier about staying on Cardano, I just want to remind everyone, because this has been a really popular question that has come in, you still have to use the portal to upgrade your token to WMTX, even if you want to stay on Cardano. So you still have to use that portal to swap over your tokens. In terms of bridging, so once the migration window is closed, you'll still be able to, so here's another point before I go on to bridging actually, you'll still be able to migrate your tokens. It'll just be a manual process. You'll have to get in touch with us. And then, yes, we do have a number of bridges that we are putting in place. They will be available in the portal site itself. Some of the bridges are already ready, but I think there's going to be staggered in terms of their release. So anyone will be able to, say you're on Cardano and want to move over to Base, you'll be able to do that. If you're on Base and want to move over to BNB, you'll be able to do that, etc., etc. So everything, all of that has been looked at, and in the same site, there'll be tools to enable you to do all of that.
Thank you. And I want to give a shout out here to another fellow crypto creator. So it looks like we've got Crypto Crow in the house telling us to crow our coins. Crow, we appreciate you tuning in here. If you ever want to jump on here, you're more than welcome on the channel. I'll be reaching out definitely to make sure to get in touch. He's an OG here, providing Cardano content since I want to say like early, maybe 2019, 2020, so to have him here watching us live, extremely, extremely excited to have him here. Let's jump into the next couple of questions regarding vaults and staking. So I'm sorry, Rob, did you want to say something there?
That's what I was going to ask some questions about, was the vault and staking.
Perfect. So let me go ahead and just jump the gun there. Manny, we've got a question coming here from Jeff, aka Delta Earth Node. So Jeff, a longtime contributor to the community, asking, after the migration, will there still be a vault to stake to, or will we be staking to individual Earth nodes during the testnet phase and then on to mainnet? Anything that you can share or clarify about that?
So yes, there will still be a vault to stake to. The vault is going to go through a series of upgrades in the future, and we're also going to add EVM staking. So that might take a little time because it involves smart contracts. But in terms of the current staking mechanism for Cardano, it will remain similar for the time being. So there should be no changes there. And yes, in terms of Earthnode staking, that will still be the same as well. So no changes basically.
Okay, and I'm just going to keep you up here while we've got you, but this is coming in from Kristen. If my WMT is in a vault, do I have to do anything differently?
No. So, it's liquid staking on Cardano, which is great. So you link your wallet up to the portal and migrate as normal. It shouldn't affect if your wallet is linked to the vault at all.
I've got two quick ones, and then we'll go ahead and give you a break here, Maine. Again, thank you for jumping in here and being on the hot seat. This one coming in here from Scott Irvin. If I use a Nami wallet, do I need to move it to another one? And I have some thoughts on this, but I'll let you go and answer as well.
Yeah, so just for ease of development, we decided to only make the Eternal wallet compatible with the migration portal. So if you've got any other wallet, including Yoroi, Nami, etc., you'll have to import your wallet into the Eternal interface and then do the migration or upgrade from there. And just to clarify for anyone that's sort of newer to crypto or not so tech savvy, in terms of the blockchain sort of things, wallets are literally just interfaces with the blockchain. So all of your tokens are safe; they're stored on the Cardano blockchain, and it's equivalent to sort of an internet browser, which wallet you choose. So if you choose to import you have to import your accounts and balances to Eternal, your tokens will be safe. And then in the Discord, in the migration channels, we do have some tutorials on how to do that, how to import your wallet, and how to set up an Eternal wallet too.
All right. I promise this is the last question and then we'll give you a break here, Manny.
No
This
problem.
is coming in from Vic N. How's WMT staking rewards scheduled for October distribution going to be handled during the migration period? And
So,
maybe backing up a
yeah,
little
I mean, sorry, go on.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say maybe backing up a little bit, explaining the staking rewards and how we've gotten to this point.
Yeah, so the staking reward. So everyone, who's been staking at World Mobile knows right now that if you're staking, I think on WMT, you're getting sort of 8.3% APY per year, whatever, in terms of rewards. There's no plans to change that. So for anyone wondering, I know that's been a big question coming in the future, but if there are plans, we'll obviously let people know. Or if that changes, we'll let people know. But in terms of the current staking window, so that will continue as planned until the 9th of October. And then after the 9th, staking will temporarily be paused. So during this migration period, it's then going to resume following the launch of World Mobile Chain. And stakers will then receive rewards in WMTX. So we'll keep you updated on the World Mobile Chain launch as well. But yeah, that is what is going to happen.
All right. Thank you again, Manny, for answering some of those burning questions. Rob or Kyle, did you guys want to add anything about any of the questions that have come in so far? Or did you guys want to bring up some new topics that we can discuss?
Well, I have some questions about what Manny just discussed. So right now, there's always a snapshot on the 9th of the month. I think it's 6 a.m. UTC, 0600 UTC is the snapshot. And so throughout the course of that month, from the 9th of one month to the 9th of the next month, if you take away from the wallet that's linked to your vault and you go under your snapshot balance, you lose rewards for the entire month. So you have to go from snapshot to snapshot, maintaining that balance. I know there's been a few times where I've pulled out to try and make something happen, and then within an hour I'm putting it back in, and I have not lost my rewards for that month. But usually, if you go beyond a day, you're probably going to lose rewards for the entire month if you pull out. So the question is, if we since we're going to pause on the 9th, right? The portal opens on the 30th, and then the staking pauses on the 9th. If we do our swap from WMT to WMTX between the 30th and the snapshot on the morning of the 9th, my understanding is we're going to lose staking rewards for the entire month. Is that correct?
So yeah, that's correct.
That's correct. So if you are staking currently, and this isn't, we're not talking about Earth node operator rewards or owning an Earth node in the vault. We're talking about staking rewards. If you are staking, I think it's important that people know you will lose your rewards for the entire month if you try and get this out of the way early and do it early. That's my biggest concern is I don't want to lose out on those potential tokens. And so I think it's important for people to know that it's not a race here. You don't need to get it done right away. The valuation doesn't change. I remember when I used to buy a token called Elrond. Then they switched to Elrond Gold, and now they're like multi-X or I don't know what they're called now. But I was on crypto.com and I locked it into a 3-month stake, my Elrond. And then they decided to switch from Elrond to Elrond Gold, and it became a 4-to-1 swap. And the value of Elrond Gold tanked. So by the time my staking released, I lost about 85% of the value of the token that I had because it wasn't a 1-to-1 swap from one token to the other. This is a 1-to-1 token swap. You're not going to lose anything by waiting a couple of extra days or a week or so extra to swap. So I just want to make sure, I don't want to see people lose rewards. I don't want to see people get in such a hurry that they end up losing out. So I just wanted to clarify that with you, and then encourage people, be ready, but if you're concerned about staking rewards, you don't need to do it right away.
That is a really good point that you do make there again, Rob. Now, I'm still picking a couple of questions here. Just want to give a shout out and correct here my statement from earlier about Crypto Crow. Crypto Crow's been making content since 2017. So I do apologize about that, Crow. But if you do want to jump on the stream, let us know. We'll get you the link and you can jump on here. But we do have another very special guest that is officially in the house. We have Mr. Telecoms himself. So, Mickey, I hope you're ready to be brought up on stage because you're coming up right now. Mickey, welcome up. How are you?
Good evening or good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm good. How are you?
We're good, man. Look at Clover. He's celebrating already, man. He's partying over there.
And then hold back for celebrations. The next 6 to 8 weeks, we can begin to celebrate properly.
Yeah, it's about to be massive. So Manny, also known as the Web3 Cat, has done an awesome job introducing the migration, the portal, and some of the basics, right? And so I just want to just queue up the community here. If you guys have any questions for Mickey, now is the time to get those in the chat. But just generally speaking, Mickey, what's on your plate as sort of the visionary here? Obviously, there's other co-founders as well, but like, what's on your plate? What is your focus right now as we're entering this brand new era at such a pivotal and a critical time?
We've got a really exciting next 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks. So before the end of this year, and a lot of deliverables, but in between, and they're huge milestones. The deliverables. There's partnerships that you don't know about yet that are very big, especially in the USA. There's a lot happening. There's updates to the mobile application, which is going to make this a very attractive proposal for anyone living inside the USA or outside the USA on a global travel sim. There's some really cool stuff around the corner.
Thank you. I do want to take an opportunity because I feel like I've been asking a lot of questions already for Rob or Clover Notes, right, to also go ahead and jump into the conversation. So you guys feel free to jump in if you guys have any questions you guys would like to post to Mickey. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and continue rounding up some questions here from the audience.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Hi, Mickey. How's it going?
What's up, Cal? I'm loving your t-shirts.
Thanks, man. Good to hear from you. I have a question on the last AMA. You guys talked a little bit about a World Mobile Token rebrand of a new website. Can you talk a little bit more about that? What can we expect from that new upcoming website?
There's an interim site, and then there's going to be something that's far more detailed. As the World Mobile Token ecosystem grows and the services grow and the Earthnode operators start to offer different services to Web3 and non-Web3 users, then we're going to need a bit more depth. So there's an interim website that Mike will show you soon. And then there's going to be a site that has a lot of products on it.
Does that answer your question, Clover? Anything else you want to follow up with?
Awesome. Thank you. And also a question about Earthnodes and those NFTs. Now that we're going multi-chain, are we going to be able to see them on different NFT marketplaces?
That's down to whoever holds the NFTs, but technically it's absolutely possible, of course.
Awesome. I'm excited to see that.
I think there's some huge recognition coming our way.
Fareed, you're on mute. I didn't hear anything you said.
I do apologize, said Rob, and it's interesting. You sort of knew that I was speaking directly to you, but I was saying I'm very surprised that you haven't asked me any questions here. Typically, I feel like you're full of a lot of them, so feel free to jump in here. But if you don't have anything immediately, we do have one coming in from the community. So Richard asking Mickey, can you give us an update on the World Mobile Air nodes in Mozambique? Thank you. For anybody who isn't aware, I know Mozambique was the first location you guys launched in, and Pakistan has quickly rivaled and now advanced, right, the developments in Mozambique in terms of actual numbers. But Mickey would love to hear a little bit about, what comes next in Mozambique.
Mozambique, there's a ground network that's actually gone down recently, and that's very exciting. We're working particularly close to the INCM with the INCM to connect unconnected areas, and we're working out with the aerostat, the best commercial deal for us. We want to be a neutral host to all the mobile network operators, and we want that aerostat to be inside the sharing economy. So we're looking forward, but everything's very viable. We also have some other big news outside of Mozambique with our air fleet, and I hope we have to share that in the next 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks. Some quite huge news, actually.
While we got you, Mickey, could we potentially ask about aerostats, right? I know that there were some teases a couple of months back at a particular location. Obviously, there's one up right now in Mozambique. Anything that you can share with the community here about that?
We're still leading the path with aerostats, and I think that we're as advanced as anybody else is. Also drones. But yeah, there's things that we can't discuss that are under NDA that we're unable to at this moment. But we're paving the way forward for a lot of deployment of aerostats.
Okay, thank you. Another question coming here from Jeff, aka Delta Notes. Mickey, what's been the reception over at the base ecosystem like?
We've been speaking to Jesse and Jesse's team for quite some time, and they've been really welcoming. But of course, our focus right now is not just going over to base, but overall going to World Mobile Chain. That's what we're looking for. So there'll be some news, actually, I think maybe Monday, Tuesday, with the relationship with base.
Perfect. Thank you. And I think we'll jump into that in just a couple of minutes here. We've got a question coming in from Molten Q, and I'm not sure if this is maybe for Mickey or maybe for Manny, but how about the 100K WMT attached to each of the Earth Node NFTs? Will those be automatically swapped for WMTX?
Yes, they will be.
Perfect. Rob, Clover, anything else that you guys want to jump into? Otherwise, again, I'll just continue rolling here. I don't want to steal the show, but want to give you guys an opportunity as well.
Oh, I'll jump in real quick. Real quick question. When can we buy air notes with WMTX? Because the community's itching for that.
That's something that we can talk about. It's not planned, but of course it's pretty easy, especially when you'll be able to just plug your MetaMask in and off you go. So it's a possibility. Let me ask the team.
I'll be first on that in that line, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's going to be a big line. A lot of people hold a lot of WMT or soon to be WMTX, and I'm sure that for a lot of people, it's like, hey, do I round up new funds or hold my existing WMTX, or if I have the opportunity to use that WMTX to purchase nodes, I think we might see a little bit more engagement activity from the actual community. We've got a partner coming in here, Raul de Benedettis. He's just actually mentioned from the official Nouvel account that they've now purchased an undisclosed amount of air nodes, right, for that upcoming batch. Maybe that's a good sort of question here for you, Mickey. There's been a lot of new partners, most notably or most recently, House of Titans. Obviously, they are able to benefit, World Mobile becoming one of the biggest, strongest, and quickest developing DePin projects out here in the crypto space. Now with you guys going multi-chain, how do you see partnerships growing, and how do you make it as easy as possible for players like Nouvel, House of Titans, Node Locker, come on board and contribute to the global sharing economy?
I think it's just the beginning. I think there's going to be a lot more partners along the way. We've built a sharing economy. Look, I've said this before. You can look back at other recordings. We could have done what other companies might have done and gone out there and bought a few companies and grown and done the same old game. We didn't. We chose to build a sharing economy from scratch and to learn. And that's what's going to set us apart from all of the other DePins that are out there. Is that there's demand and payment for people that run nodes. It's very rare in the industry. So having partners is a wonderful thing, and it helps you to grow very fast. But I think that these guys are just the pioneers. They're the early adopters, and I thank them for their support as we work out all the different partnership contracts and the relationships and things that they need. We have a whole team working on that. We've employed 2-3 people recently to take on partnerships. So I think 2025 will be crazy for partnerships.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And when I see each of the partnerships come up, I was just mentioning this to Clover, it excites me. Obviously, it's exciting to some of those projects that are now onboarding and sort of connected to World Mobile. But I'm just like, man, imagine we've got 30, 40, 50 partners that are now getting access to air nodes for their own communities. I was just thinking about purchases from just individuals, but now seeing some of these partners come in, I really think we're going to see a lot of demand for the upcoming air nodes with, again, I'm not sure how much supply, but maybe that's something that you can jump into as well, Mickey. What are sort of the plans for the rollout not just within the USA. You guys are now, I believe, going to be doubling back in Pakistan with the recent Nouvel announcement, but also even taking a look at Europe, right? So WMD asking any plans for Europe at this time for expansion.
Okay, so full focus on migrating the token, allowing people to hold it where they wish to hold it, to making sure that we have a very good environment at World Mobile. Releasing the mobile application to actually give products that people can use that are sticky, that's a real reason to take on our service and to compete against the mobile network operators who are hiding so much from us, and to get better rates and to have the air nodes going. So this is the real focus, right? Operation Air Node, mobile application, World Mobile Chain, migration, and then building out our community. However, there are 2 places in Europe that we have decided to take on. One technically not Europe, should be pretty an easy guess because I come from there, the United Kingdom, and then another place that we're fighting for right now here, and it looks like it will be pretty successful. So that could easily be Spain as well. Spain's a great place. We have a lot of people here. We have Antonio and some of the development team, and it's a big population that's actually quite used to sharing economies. It's convert them to our sharing economy could be quite easily done. But World Mobile is going to be huge. There's no doubt about it. Why can you not see the growth? It's there. It's happening. It's going to be everywhere. The world is a big place, but we've got a lot of people that are already with us, and we'll have a lot more year on year who are interested. Again, we've brought something to the table that is real. It's a $1 trillion market. So if we can put the nodes out there, and we have our unique way of marketing, and as we grow, we learn, and as we learn, we become more efficient and more efficient and more efficient. The people's network is there. It's within sight. The billion users is within sight. Not just a billion users as in, hey, we've got a billion users. It's like a billion users actually using the network, paying for the network, transacting on the network. That's the vision. And I think it's going pretty well so far. So
yeah,
Europe, Africa, Asia, Australasia, we're everywhere. South America for the South Americans, Central America for the Central Americans, North America for the North Americans. It's a movement that can spread the whole world.
Yeah, I just want to give you.
Sorry, you got me going. Consumption is not going to decrease. As more and more people get online, the demand is going to be more. It's just about situating, position ourselves well. And what was for so long known as the standard, as the normal, can in such a fast amount of time, in the next 2 to 3 years, completely flip around, and this could be the new normal.
Yeah, I was telling Manny earlier, you guys have done an awesome job of making so much noise here. Literally, my timeline and my feed on X has been full of WMT to WMTX content here for the last week. So you guys tapping into KOLs, communities, and even partnering up with, I believe, the Aerodrome decks. So how has that been? You guys branching out. Base is one of the fastest growing networks. There's been talks about integrations with Coinbase in their wallet. How does that play out here, and how do you guys keep that conversation rolling and that momentum rolling, especially after the migration?
We have a team on it, Zach and his team, and that's expanding as well over the next couple of weeks. So it's an EVM, right? We're right now we're Cardano. Now we introduce the EVM world to World Mobile. The community is absolutely massive. And the potential there is absolutely massive, and we need that. This is the spirit of Web3 is the spirit that's needed to connect the unconnected, to serve the underserved, and to finally actually take back control of our own dignity, honor, and have our own privacy on our terms, right? Not to hide shit from the authorities. This is not what I'm asking, right? But have our own privacy on our terms. Not one company should have access to all of our data. So the moment is here. It's happening. It's happening. I'm watching it. I'm watching the execution of it. I'm watching it evolve week on week. And we're learning so much still daily. I don't know if that's ever going to stop. I think we're looking at this very scientifically, and how does this work, and how does this grow? And we've got great minds like James Tagg and Magnus Kelly on our team that can see it's happening, and everybody's getting excited. And that's a wonderful feeling for us inside the group at World Mobile. The migration is just a tiny step. It's a cool step. It introduces us to everyone. And the next step is building that new community and then relying on the World Mobile Alliance, relying on you, relying on the hard work that we've all put out to be able to get to the position of knowledge that we are and the project that we've built together. And then to show those other people that come in the way forward. And that's the next big job.
Thank you, Mickey. Again, I do want to give you a little bit of a break here. I feel like I'm just going back to back with questions geared towards you here. Definitely do appreciate you taking the time to join us. I understand that you probably won't be able to join us here for the entire stream. So I do want to give the community just one last reminder, right? If you guys have any questions, leave those now for Mickey. Want to be respectful of his time. I want to take
my
a
man
break.
Rob? He's been quiet the whole show.
I've never seen
Rob,
him this
how are you?
quiet.
Good. If Reed was just going and going, I didn't want to interrupt anything.
Go for it, man. This is just as much your show as it is mine. The floor is yours.
Mickey, how are you? You sound a little stuffed up, maybe.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's a lot of traveling. I think 26,000 miles in the last week, up and down in the airplane. Some great meetings. I went to Dubai to meet an ecosystem partner as we get closer to launch of World Mobile Chain Testnet, and then very rapidly moving into mainnet. Things can be done on the internet. It's beautiful, but sometimes when the deals are so important, you need to go and look someone in the eye, smell them, shake their hands, and very privileged that we can do that. So I jump on the airplane and off I go to do the business that needs to be done.
So you made a post on X about a week or so ago saying that you guys smashed it in Singapore, but we have not heard anything about that since. In fact, the last AMA was all about the token migration, so we haven't gotten any updates recently on your travels or what's been going on. So is there anything that you can share about Singapore and Token 2049?
We met with some people that are supporting us with our builds that are working. I say outsourced; they're not really outsourced. They're part of the World Mobile team, but most recently have become a bigger part of World Mobile. So that was good. We had Manoj Kohli, who, as you know, is a senior advisor that we speak to every day at World Mobile, and he's supporting us. He set up a few meetings with family offices, and the air nodes, the operation air node is not just taking attention of Web3 community. My focus wants to be around the Web3 community because I think we're the most powerful, we're the most stoic, the strongest. We've been through shit and we know how to fight to be able to connect the unconnected. But it's also family offices and trust funds. So it's quite exciting to have had those meetings. And then we met with others. Zach was there, Ryan was there, World Mobile. Barrick, who is also a senior advisor, has headed up a few big token, top 30 tokens before. He was there. Charles Barnett, Emmanuel. They also went to the Milken convention. I met with a lot of the people there who are very excited about what World Mobile is doing. Spreading the word, shaking people's hands and getting stuff going. But the core mission has always been the core mission. Get the sharing economy running.
I've got a question here, and this might be maybe geared towards Manny. So this is coming in here from Shane. Will DEXs like MintSwap, Wing Riders, or Enter whatever DEX from Cardano be able to do cross-chain swaps of WMTX?
So the way I understand it is they won't need to. So as soon as WMTX is live, all DEXs, anyone can be able to go onto a DEX and buy, sell, do whatever they need to do with WMTX. There are a few DEXs that we're supporting with liquidity, so to ensure all of that happens. But that's the beauty of DEXs and decentralization, is that as soon as something changes, anyone can automatically access the benefits of that change.
Nice, thank you. I appreciate that.
So if I can follow up, and maybe I'm going to respectfully jump over your head, Manny, and go right to Mickey on this one. Not just DEXs, but centralized exchanges. We're going to be opening up on Base here, and obviously the big conversion, the big migration on BNB as well. So close ties with the Binance community. Do we have any updates on potential listings for either Coinbase or Binance?
Rob, you know that I cannot answer this. It's not something that I can go for. But all I can tell you is I
got to try though.
We have great relationships. We've built a very good name for ourselves in the industry. You can see it's clear online that we've been speaking to the best exchanges, the most traded exchanges. Zach works tirelessly on this. So does Ryan. It's happening. Good stuff is happening. You'll only know when everybody else knows. There's certain rules and regulations that we have to abide by.
That's fair. I think we can all respect that. Clover, you have any other questions that you want to ask? I've got a couple here that have come in from the community.
I'm just enjoying the conversation, so go ahead.
All right. So this is an interesting one. And Mickey, and I mean, at the end of the day, we're all trying to contribute to the sharing economy, right? But I also understand that, you know, as a businessman, we have to make sure that World Mobile is able to sustain itself and then continue to grow, right, by bringing in new members that want to contribute to the sharing economy. So I'm not necessarily sure how to take this one, but I do want to bring it up here. This is coming in here from Andre. Mickey, when do you see World Mobile, I assume, being profitable if it isn't already?
Okay, so there's a lot of business that we can be doing with Aerostats, and there's a lot of business we are doing with Aerostats. Some deals take years to come through. Some deals are with government. Some deals are with Ministry of Defenses. So this could be a highly profitable business, and should be a highly profitable business for World Mobile. World Mobile's sharing economy is profitable, right? It's from our aspect, it's something that we've made very. We have to make sure that whoever buys nodes, there's demand for those nodes. Otherwise, what are we doing? We're doing the same as every other project. So it's looking very good on the World Mobile sharing economy. World Mobile Group is okay. World Mobile Group is happy to wait, and we have backers. If we wanted to go out and close more money, we could. We don't need to in this stage right now. So when would it be profitable? I forecast maybe 2 or 3 years before the whole group is profitable. So, and I think that's a pretty big thing. A lot of mobile network operators starting off, they're looking at 10 years, 11 years, 12 years before they start to actually become profitable and hundreds of thousands of customers. Essentially, World Mobile is a mobile network operator without CapEx and without OpEx. The CapEx and OpEx is the community. But then the community also receive 80% of the revenue that runs through the network itself. But it's self-fulfilling. If you have 1 million people or 2 million people or 3 million people with nodes, then you've got a huge spread. Then you've got a huge customer base potential. So it's actually better, I think, to do it the way that we're doing it right now, which is empowering the sharing economy. But World Mobile, we're pretty lean with how we run. You know, we're still around 85 people, I think, maybe 90 people at World Mobile. But we do a good job, and we keep a good runway. Profitability, who knows? Yeah, a couple of deals away, we could be profitable very fast.
So, Mickey, with that, I always wonder this because it always seems like, you know, you have different groups you're working with. You know, you talked one time about SCW, and you've talked about World Call, and then different partners you have things with, and then you bring in people to do specific tasks. I just not being a business minded person myself, I just wonder if you have so many different layers of partnerships and people that are doing individual tasks, does that take away from profitability, or does that help enhance it, even though you're paying out to a lot of different mouths?
Finding the balance, right? What is going to return the fastest, and what's the longest? SEW is a long-term play, but it's billions of users. The boys were just in the Philippines right now. They were speaking to an operator out there with 12 million customers who wants to come and build on World Mobile Chain. That could be pretty fast, right? We EVM, there's a lot of tools already. We've prepared a lot of tools. You're going to see that on testnet and enjoy using the testnet, and then hopefully we can go very fast into a mainnet where we can bring on these type of customers. Other deals like government deals with aerostats and radios, you take a long time. It's something that even if they order, then the payment could be 18 months, 24 months. So it's important to have a pipeline, but it's important to make sure that you've got just about the right amount of fat to chew. And then if you do, you can do pretty well. If you too much in your mouth, it doesn't feel good. So we've been very clever over the last year and a half to really nail down into the partnerships that we're convinced will monetize.
I hate to interrupt here. You guys obviously have a really good conversation flowing. We do have an additional World Mobile team member backstage. That's Christian Rees. To be honest, I didn't expect for us to have this big of a stream. For the viewers, if you guys have found any portion of today's live stream to be helpful, please make sure to smash that thumbs up, share this out. We want to get as many people in here, number one, to ask good questions, but then number two, to get educated about this upcoming migration. So let's go ahead and bring up Christian. He is driving, so I definitely do want to be mindful of that, but hopefully Christian,
It says in the contract you can't drive and talk at the same time.
No, I had to park. I was in the drive-through car wash.
Okay.
Well,
how you doing? Yes,
Somebody was for me.
How are you, man?
Good. I'm dealing with some audio issues, but that's Bluetooth. How's everybody's weekend? How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. We can hear you loud and clear. So on our end, we're just good. But super happy to have you here on the channel for the very first time. We were just hanging out not too long ago in Vegas for Rare Evo. Maybe this is a good opportunity because it's your first time here on the channel, right? We'll give Mickey and Manny a break here. But do you mind maybe introducing yourself and what you actually do for World Mobile for anybody who isn't aware about sort of how you're contributing to the sharing economy?
Yeah, so my name's Christian Rees. I'm the Nevada regional manager here in the United States. I have a pretty large scope of what my job entails, but my usual day-to-day is site acquisition, field testing. So after we put up air nodes, checking to see that they're performing as expected. So a lot of analysis, installation, testing, testing sims, checking to make sure that everything's working as it should. And then also running the office here in the US. So the logistics side of receiving and shipping out air nodes, flashing them with our configuration, quite a pretty large scope.
General firefighter and legendary G.
Yeah. Well, you've been popping up on a lot of the pictures here lately on the official World Mobile Twitter X pages, right? With you installing a lot of air nodes, I assume, on the ground. Now, granted, you guys are all working for the team. Is there anything that you guys can share about, the reception of the second batch and then potentially we can look forward to for the next batch? So I know I was poking and prodding Manny earlier, but with Mickey and Christian now both on, what are your guys' thoughts about the first two batches, and then maybe what comes next? Excuse me.
It's just the beginning, right? This is millions of nodes should come next. That's the idea. That's what we've been building towards. Of course, it was an emotional moment to see Opan go live for the first time, and then lots of learnings, lots of improvements, and then the second time it was a lot of people wanted, and there wasn't the allocation there. So that was good to see the demands. And the third time, we'll see it again, and the fourth time, and then the 550th time, and then the 1,800th time, and then the 6,000th time. We'll probably need to change the batch naming system because they're going to be so frequent. But yeah, it's huge. But it's going to be more huge once it's in the hands of everybody else, and that's what we're excited to see.
One quick question coming in.
Batch 2 is pretty amazing, especially. Oh, sorry, you can go.
No. Go ahead. I was just going to ask here. We've got Amariah, aka CB Chat, fellow World Mobile ambassador, asking about Reno and South Tahoe. So, Christian, I think you're the perfect person to actually answer that, given how closely you work on the ground to deploy some of those air nodes.
Yeah, batch 2 is really exciting for us here in Nevada in the US because it's quite a large batch and there's still more to come. But just from a traffic perspective, there's just so many links and the apexes and traffic coming through the network and satisfied customers downstream for our services. So it's been really exciting to see the response for that here in Reno. And in regards to South Tahoe, I was born and raised up in Zephyr Cove on the eastern side of the lake. So I have a soft spot for the Tahoe area, not just from a connectivity standpoint, but and also just the potential up there the existing, carriers, it's very tricky with the spectrum that they do use up there to service people. So we're kind of in a unique position with our licensed spectrum to kind of better serve those people that are in those, tricky spots, especially because of like foliage and the like. But a lot of those properties up there that, really get me excited, are the ones that are down by the water and the little hidden gem, beach spots that have, adequate backhaul for internet and power. And now, what's that?
So the potential there is pretty big, right? Also, we
Yeah.
haven't discussed this yet, but we have met somebody in Tahoe who's well, eventually his name will be revealed, but he's an entrepreneur, and he has singled out World Mobile and actually had this idea of building a decentralized mobile network operator, and for a long time has been collecting resources, very very good resources that would give us more than 80 markets in the United States of America to be able to go out with licensed spectrum. And that's a game changer. That's a challenge, right? That's something that we can go out there and really lay stakes. So that's a deal that could be closed, and we're working very hard to close it quick. But of course, lots of paperwork and lots of understanding. But they're willing to enter the sharing economy. So that's testament to actually what we've built. That companies come out. It just happened to be that this guy's in Tahoe. So not only were we lucky with Christian getting him from Tahoe, but also very lucky to meet some other people. There's a lot of tech entrepreneurial people in the area that have houses. I think Mark Zuckerberg also bought a house. Not that I'm saying we're doing business with Facebook, absolutely not at the moment. But there's a lot of influential people in these areas that are starting to take note and really care about the future of the United States of America and protecting privacy, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that batch of the links, that was kind of our expansion into the Tahoe area. And then we've kind of been eyeing, of course, the rest of Nevada and of course the world, hence the name. But Tahoe, it's really exciting to me because we have this really unique solution where we don't need to think about getting, service out in places, with the elevation and the topography, and then you have the foliage, that kind of legacy solution of getting service from the out into the end customer. It's just like pop a tower up and then hope it just goes where it needs to, right? So now there's a lot of interest from people up in the communities around the lake up there, where we have this unique kind of in-out approach where somebody's putting up a portal and an air node at their home, and then somebody a couple streets down is putting one up in a separate hex, right? And then they're kind of continuing this deployment instead of just the existing model of where you put up a tower and then sorry it doesn't hit your neighborhood, right? You're kind of out of luck. But it's like you bought a $10 million home in Lake Tahoe and you don't have cell service. So now it's like, well, I can do this myself, right? And this guy down the street can do it, and then he can do it. And there's huge connectivity issues there, just from a cellular standpoint, but from the actual ISPs, people up in Incline, up in North Lake Tahoe. It's one of the most prestigious areas in the country for real estate. Their internet goes down all the time, and a lot of those people work remote, and so they all flock down to the Starbucks down by the water. But you've got 50, 60 people that all come down to the Starbucks to get on their Wi-Fi. And it's not really a pleasant experience, and it's not a pleasant experience for your connection at your home too, especially one like that you work so hard for to kind of be off the grid, unless it was intentional, of course. So our solution there gets me really excited because I think it's the best suited for the application. But it's kind of cool how it comes full circle. That 1 second you're growing up there on the beach, and then the next you're putting up kit there. So
Again, I don't want to steal the show here. I just want to say that this is by far one of the best performing teams that we've had here. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Thank you to Mickey, Manny, and Christian Rees here for making this happen. If you guys have questions, leave those in the live chat right now. This is your opportunity to get direct access to this team, right? That said, again, I want to open up the floor to Rob and Clover. That way I don't get chewed out after the stream for hogging all the bandwidth here. You guys are more than welcome to jump in and ask questions.
I got a question for Christian. What's up, man? Christian, how you doing? Thanks for coming on the show. So
Yeah, thanks for letting me jump up.
yeah, so you're obviously a local in Reno. So I just want to hear from you. What's been the feedback from other locals like yourself, and specifically customers from the World Mobile Network, right? Like, what's their feedback? Are they excited about the benefits the network brings? You know, how are they reacting to the pricing, and you know, now having a new option in town?
Yeah, that outside of, you know, how we stand in terms of, you know, being more private and more secure and mindful about your data, that's been a huge factor for people, right? Because they're like, well, what makes you guys different, right? And so that's kind of been our key differentiator. But our pricing structure has been one of the biggest things. You know, people are like, every year you get a Spectrum, you know, you sign up or you move or you go to a new apartment or something and you open up a new Spectrum line, and you're paying a certain price every month. And then, you know, the existing ISPs, after that year ends, the price, you know, sometimes doubles, sometimes, you know, triples, and you've got to call them, you got to haggle the price down, and you got to do it every year. It's like this like super unnecessary ritual, right? It's like you have to do all the time with these existing ISPs. And so we've been very transparent in our pricing and, you know, what people can expect, and that, you know, they're not going to have to call somebody and sit on this phone forever and, you know, deal with, you know, why did my price go up so much, or why does, you know, one person get this offer and the other person doesn't get this. So there's been a huge excitement around like that, how we structure our pricing and what the offering is. And then just from like a service standpoint, like just for one example, we put up, you know, a portal in downtown, and there was this adjacent property. It's kind of these, used to be a motel chain, and then they've kind of transferred it, converted it into studio apartments. Immediately after we put up this portal there, within the hour, we started going to these areas nearby, you know, a street or two away, and, you know, we could offer them a $30 a month package using our devices. And there's two main takeaways there that were pretty special, is that for those people in that area, it's a lower income area, that price was like something that they could afford. But it was just the fact that we were going and actually like talking to them and being able to offer them something, because they told us time and time again, like, the other guys don't come around here. They don't talk to us. They don't have this price for us. They're not looking to service us. And so for them, it was, you know, it's connect the unconnected, right? But it's right in downtown Reno. You have these people who, you know, some of these people in this complex, they couldn't afford the other prices. And, you know, there was nobody coming out to look after them or to get them set up. And so that's been huge for those areas in town. But just for people who are in other parts of town, just the, you know, those differentiators of, you know, the privacy and the security, and that, you know, we're not going to sell your data to the highest advertising bidder, right? That's been huge for those people in there, and just having that extra alternative, because you see two, you know, in groups on social media, you have people saying, well, I left this guy for this guy, and then they leave that guy to go back to the other guy, and they're all asking, you know, who's different, who's new. And there wasn't that choice for years here. You know, it kind of consolidated down to two companies were the main kind of providers here in town. And you would move into a new property in town, and it didn't matter where you went. You had either one or the other, or only one option, and you couldn't go with anyone else. So having a third alternative for people has been huge. That's kind of been the thing that's resonated a lot with people is, oh, it's something new, so that we can try out.
It's good to hear that the locals are welcoming World Mobile and they're excited about it. I got one more, and I'll let you guys jump in. So we now have portals, we got Titans, we got Apex and Links. Are we expected to see more type of nodes coming up in the future batches?
Yes.
Yep.
Lots of different types of nodes.
Yeah.
One thing about building a network is it's dynamic. So we can build a network for particular geographies, areas, no matter where they are in the world. And we've got some pretty serious experience now. We haven't yet been to Alaska, so I think this is going to be pretty hard. But we're not ready to go there quite yet. But we have several different types of nodes coming out.
Exciting. Speaking of different areas, there's a question that came in earlier, from Accelerate Profits. And Mickey, I feel like I've asked you this before, but not just focusing on one particular state, where is the next main target, right? When it comes to fixing that Swiss cheese problem, and have you guys been able to sort of tap into the scan for points data to help you guys guide where you guys are deploying next?
The scan for points data is crazy. We will, it's not a priority right now, but we will surely over the next few weeks or months show that information and show that data. It's every corner of the world. It's incredible, and we're still so small. I can only imagine when 1 million people are using scan for points, the kind of real-time information that we'll get. But your answer is very everywhere. We're on every continent. We will be everywhere. This is not about where there's the next major target. This is about now the sharing economy is thriving. It's working in 3 different continents. Now, how do we get this into the hands of more people? They can do so much more than World Mobile alone can. So, as I said, Europe is on the agenda. We have huge list of countries that want us to come. We have for aerostats, for connecting the unconnected, to apply for grants, to do this, to do that. The only thing that is going to work is a sharing economy, the World Mobile sharing economy. I have to focus on that. It's the story. There's a story of the fish's eye. I encourage anyone to read it. It's from Indian heritage. But you've just got to focus on the fish's eye and shoot the fish. And that's it. That's what we have to do. So every country is on the radar.
Thank you. And I maybe want to pivot back over to WMTX again. I definitely do appreciate Christian jumping on here to talk a little bit about the air nodes. Definitely look forward to getting you back on here on the channel, Christian, when we do hear about the next batch. But thank you so much for all that you provided so far. I know that you were in your vehicle and that you pulled over just to, spare a little bit of your time here with us. So if you want to hang on, Christian, you are more than welcome to. If you have to go, that's completely okay as well. We'll definitely make sure to bring you back on for a fully dedicated show for the next round of air nodes that drop. But that said, I want to just pivot a little bit back over to WMTX and maybe a couple of questions that may to answer. One of them actually popped up earlier about DEXs and liquidity, asking, sorry if this has already been answered, but are old WMT tokens currently on DEXs or being used for LP farms going to be automatically updated to WMTX?
So for DEXs, for DEXs, this is the beauty of decentralization. Once WMTX is live, hopefully there'll be people out there going and providing liquidity in WMTX to DEXs. But if you've got any tokens, locked up in any type of farming, whether that be liquidity pools or anything else, it's going to be your responsibility to take custody of those tokens and use the migration portal to upgrade them to WMTX. So just bear that in mind. That's how decentralization works.
Thank you, Manny. And I believe, Alan, you actually had a very similar question. So Satvia and Alan, I hope that answers both of your guys' question. This is an interesting one, maybe targeted for Mickey here. I know that this has been a big point, and we actually discussed this in our last stream, and that was talking about Starlink. So we have Andreas Osbergus, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, asking, why should I choose World Mobile instead of Starlink? And maybe even just backing up a little bit, Mickey, could you maybe just break down, if there is possible synergies, because I don't want to pitch you guys against one another, but I also realize that you guys could potentially use or leverage what Starlink has brought. So I'd love to hear what your perspective is when it comes to World Mobile and Starlink, not necessarily versus Starlink.
Why should I choose World Mobile instead of Starlink? Well, they're two totally different services, first of all. One is a community-run mobile decentralized network. The other is a LEO constellation, low Earth orbiting constellation of satellites. You would choose World Mobile because World Mobile could provide you better service. If it couldn't, then you would choose Starlink. There's room for both. Starlink en masse actually cannot connect more than 10 million, 15 million customers concurrently. And it will be very hard for them to ever achieve full, or any LEO to ever achieve the ability to connect everyone on the planet. At the moment, it's a cool addition to the communications setup, but it's very different than being able to set up an aerostat very quickly, put equipment up on it very quickly, pull equipment down when you want to upgrade that equipment. It's a little harder when you're up that high in space. So two different products, but very compatible. In terms of World Mobile working with Starlink, yeah, sure. In several African countries, we work with Starlink. We have a great relationship with their team. And there's tasks that they've given us in the past that we've took on, or our biz dev has moved towards. So it's a great relationship, and we're very thankful. But two entirely different products.
Hopefully that answers your question there, Andreas. I've just gotten word that Mickey does have to head out here. So I do always want to close out here with any closing thoughts or key takeaways that you want to highlight. I also understand that Manny also has to take off here in just a minute. But Christian, there's one question that's come in for you. And so maybe we'll just get some closing thoughts from Mickey and Manny if they've got to drop. And then Christian will come to you for a couple of questions. And then we'll go ahead and wind out today's stream. But first, Mickey, over to you.
It's a very, very, very exciting next 2 months coming up for World Mobile. I think we're all going to be very content and then have a lovely Christmas or whatever festival people celebrate around Christmas, and heading into the new year with a new community coming in, open fully and ready for the EVM community. We've got the Helium Northern Star to overtake, first of all, and then we've got the top of the charts in our map. There's nothing with more substance than World Mobile, and everything is coming together now. So, as I said, a very, very, very exciting time coming up.
Rob?
Sorry. So, Mickey, I just wanted to let you know as well, because you guys are going to be jumping off here, but the Alliance is planning something for this coming week. You talked about the migration and the trying to bring a new community, and I've seen a lot of questions here in the chats that are, what about this? How does this work? Some of those things that we've addressed already on the space, but I think the important thing is, folks, Cal and Freed and I might have opinions on things, but the sources of all this stuff is Mickey and the World Mobile team. And I think it's important because a lot of questions that get asked are things that they're actually posting about routinely. They've talked about scammers and other things going on that have jumped in and try to make their fake portals already. The portal's not even open, and people are trying to scam and do things. So I think it's important that everyone pays attention to what Mickey says on his posts, and then only what people from the official channel are posting, especially regarding links and other things, because we don't want anyone to get scammed. Mickey, I wanted to let you know that Cal and Freed have come up with a really, I think it's a brilliant idea to help out people with this migration, and I wanted them to jump in. Maybe Cal, it was kind of his front running of this thing, but I wanted him to share with you real quick, just because I want to make sure that I know how hard he works, and sometimes it gets I want to put the spotlight on Cal so he gets a little bit of attention for this. But Cal, if you wouldn't mind, right before Mickey takes off, what's the Alliance going to do, and what did you brainstorm for for helping out?
Yeah, so I mean, as most people know, the World Mobile Alliance is always working on, assisting the community and trying to figure ways out to help people. So starting next week, we're going to start offering one-on-one sessions to anyone that has questions about the the migration and the portal and everything that has to do with that. So a little bit later on today, we're going to make an announcement on X, and we're going to share a Google form where you can go in and kind of put all your information in there and your timing, and we're going to start offering like walkthroughs to the portal. We'll possibly do it through Discord. We'll have live sessions and things like that. Like Rob said, there's so many people asking like all of these different questions, and the team has done an incredible job with the FAQ. But we just wanted to, kind of give you that hand walkthrough experience through Discord and kind of help people like whatever questions you might have with the migration. So, yeah.
Do we have your blessings, Mickey, to move forward with that?
The Alliance is something special. The way that they've organized themselves to educate the community, I think, is something great. So absolutely, just work closely with the World Mobile team to make sure that everything that needs to be said is said. Again, we have put out a lot of official documentation on our channels. I think communication has been pretty good, and it will continue to be good and relevant, and making sure that we can protect you and give you the information to protect yourself as much as possible. We've done many security audits on all of the software, all of the smart contracts, and that's very important. But it would be a shame if somebody was to jump to the wrong address and get scammed, because that's the biggest threat right now. There's a lot of people out there. You can see the groups. There's a lot of scammers inside the groups. There's people messaging me, asking me if I own World Mobile token. So they haven't done their research very well, obviously. But yeah, be careful. But any help that any group can give, that any support, including from the World Mobile Alliance, please do. And remember, together we're unstoppable. I'm going to jump off. I have a call set for 2 minutes time that I need to be on. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Cal. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Farid. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Bye-bye, Mickey.
See you soon. Thank you, community. Bye.
All right. I apologize there. I'm not sure what just happened. Can you guys hear me okay?
There's two Farids, your twin brothers on there.
Yeah, I don't know which one. Everything down. Literally, as Mickey was saying, together unstoppable, connecting and connected, boom, everything just dropped. So I don't know what just happened there, but I believe just said goodbye to Mickey. Manny, I know you have definitely wanted to provide a little bit of information clarity. I do want to also give you an opportunity to give the community closing thoughts before you head out. And then Christian, I think we've got a couple of questions for you if you're able to hang around as we get ready to shut down the stream.
Yeah, sure. And first, thank you for hosting this again. And your support and presence and reach is going to be super useful in Q4, but particularly in this week as we're doing one of the biggest transitions, in the history of World Mobile. So thank you for doing this. You guys are the best. And yeah, it's great to be back on these. Hopefully, I'll be on these more often in the next quarter. Lovely to be back and see all the excitement in the community. I think you guys have covered it. Mickey's covered it. Rob's covered it. Clover's covered it. All the support. Please reach out to our ambassadors. Please join the Discord if you need any help as well. As you said, like all of the information is there. We're regularly looking at the questions that are coming in, but as you can imagine, they're coming in left, right, and center, and in a higher quantity than normal. So we're trying to focus on, if you have a problem, come straight to the Discord, and definitely all of the team is going to be there monitoring questions coming in. But yeah, like as I said, and as Mickey said, the migration is actually just the first step. This Q4, we've got so much planned. I mean, you've had such of a taste of it in terms of what's happening in Reno, what's happening in the States, and the meetings that Mickey's attending, etc. But batch 2, drop 2 is just around the corner. Batch 3 is just around the corner, and many more things are just around the corner. So, after the craziness of the next couple of weeks is over, there's so much more that everyone can get involved with. And, if you're already thinking about getting involved as an air node operator or as an earth node operator, and World Mobile Chain is launched, which is also coming soon, get in touch and we can help you with that. But yeah, great to be here. I've got to drop, but thank you, and yeah, we're unstoppable.
If
Ooh.
I could, I apologize because yes, I promised Andre I would ask his question here, and this was
Okay.
one that he's posed plenty of time. So Andre, I'm following up here, and I'm giving you what you've asked for. So Manny, can you
No worries.
confirm if the Earth node rewards are going to be paused or if they'll be continuing?
Yeah, so they'll be paused in the same way as the staking rewards. So it's the same thing, and then hopefully continued once World Mobile Chain is launched. If you're an Earthnode operator, there will be. I know this week we cancelled the ENO AMA because we were just so busy with dealing with stuff for the migration, but we're going to have that ENO AMA next week on Thursday at, I think it's 1 p.m. UTC. So if you join, that AMA, we'll have the answers for migration-related Earthnode stuff and much more.
Perfect. I think that's it, Andre. Hopefully that's answered your question. If it has, make sure to smash that thumbs up. Manny, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you later.
Take
Always
care.
a pleasure. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Manny.
All right. So we've got Christian to ourselves now. Let's see here. So we got and then he's dropped. Well, it looks like he's gone. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean, I didn't expect that at all. That stream went like a whole completely different direction than I initially thought. Okay, looks like we got Christian joining back up here. So as soon as he's reconnected, I'll bring him back up on stage. Okay, so we'll come back to just general thoughts here with Clover and Robbie in just a moment. But Christian, while we've got you, this question came in earlier. We're talking about some of the numbers and just sort of how World Mobile's getting integrated into Reno. This is a really good question coming in here from Jeff, asking Christian, can you say what percentage of the market penetration has been reached so far in Reno and what that target percentage is moving forward?
I don't know the percentage number off the top of my head, but we are surpassing over 1,500 customers already in the local area for fixed wireless access for internet. And then for target, I mean, as much of the market as we can get, right? That's the goal from a fixed wireless perspective for home and business internet, and then also for cellular customers as well. Sorry, I disconnected earlier. My phone, it got super hot and shut off for a second.
So Christian, with 1,500 customers for internet, does that mean for the majority of them, each of them is going to need their own link node to connect to an Apex? Is that kind of how the general customer experiences?
So we have a mix. It's past 1,500, but for actual devices, it's a mix of people. So links that are already connected with traffic and their customers already, and then we have customers downstream who are using our little devices that go off the cellular network. So they connect to that and it transmits a Wi-Fi signal in the home or business. So there's about...
Looks like we might have lost him there. We'll give him a second to see.
I think Embargo Mike came and cut him off when he's about to give us a number.
Mike, always up to no good.
He's not even here and he's stopping it. But that's exciting though. That means that there's going to be a number of more nodes potentially for sale. If they're a large percentage of the customers are using that, we know that only about 150 links have sold so far, and they're talking 1,500 plus customers. So I think that we can all get ready for a couple more big drops. That's kind of where I was going with that one.
Right. I think we're gonna see that 10 minute be broken for how fast they sell them on the next one.
Yeah, that should be interesting. I mean, again, today's stream was definitely one of a kind. I knew we were going to get Manny on. Didn't expect Mickey. Didn't expect Christian. Didn't expect such wonderful questions, obviously from the both of you guys, but also from the community. So, I mean, it's just been a ton. It's been a lot. As we get ready to close out, because that went by super quickly. It's already been an hour and a half. I obviously want to give you guys the opportunity to maybe sort of touch on like what has piqued your interest so far based off of what Mickey's mentioned. And then maybe anything that like you guys want to just sort of reiterate, right, for the community. But it looks like we've got Christian joining up. So I think we'll give him an opportunity to hopefully answer that last bit of his question there. Christian, you are back on here, so hopefully you could hear us, but you broke out like right before you're about to give us like an actual number.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you loud and clear.
Sorry about that. It's hot in Reno today. It's like 92 degrees, and my phone was in the sun, so it just got cooked and kicked me off. I cut off at the market penetration question.
Yeah. So Rob had followed up, and maybe Rob, you want to just sort of restate the question here. Maybe that'll be good.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out about if you have 1,500 plus internet customers going right now, and how many of those people are using the actual hardware like a link node, and wondering if that's going to reflect what might be coming up for sale in future drops, since we've only had about 150 link nodes sell so far to the public.
Yeah, so our customers use a multitude of solutions. The Apex and the Link is one of them, and then there is our like from a portal to a customer downstream, and that's connecting to our cellular network. So those are home and business customers with those devices downstream, and then we have 2 other solutions that I can't share too much on, but they're part of the equation as well. Yeah. And then in regards to your question for market percentage, as much as we could get right, I think the opportunities there, what we stand for and what we're looking to offer and do is really, kind of captivating to people, and it's getting people excited. And we're growing at a pretty quick rate, especially since we, these links and these apexes that we put up, the amount of, customer base that we've achieved in such a short amount of time. It's been pretty remarkable. So I'm extremely proud of what we've done here in Reno already. There's definitely more work to do here and around the world, but we're super hungry for it, and we're hungry for it in Nevada, and we can't wait to get started on the next install.
All right. Any maybe final or closing thoughts from you, Christian, before we let you get back to what you've got going on this awesome and super hot Saturday for you out there in Reno?
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Let me just jump up and kind of chat a little bit more with you guys. I know after we spoke at Rare Evo, was really looking forward to connecting again some more. So happy we were able to kind of make it happen. But it was actually a pretty mellow day for me today. So this was nice to kind of filled out my day a little bit. So I appreciate being up and chatting with you guys. But we're pretty available. So if you guys have any questions for me too after the show, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. Shoot me a comment on one of my posts, or you can send me a message. I'm always happy to chat a little more too.
No, definitely look forward to getting you back on. And don't worry, we'll have plenty of questions for you to answer, especially as we get more announcements about the next batch. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Christian Rees joining us here, boots on the ground out there in Reno, making it happen for the sharing economy. Couldn't thank you anymore. Again, thank you for your time jumping on here, answering some of those questions, and look forward to getting you back on. That said, Christian, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch up soon. Take care.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya.
All right. Whew. Closing thoughts from the both of you guys. There's been a lot, right? So WMTX, Mickey was all over the place, and the questions were all over the place too. I know it's supposed to be solely focused on WMTX, but like we ended up getting a little bit of alpha about, expansion, different types of nodes. Like, what are you guys thinking as we get ready to wrap up today?
So much. Well, first I'll start first here, and first I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Reno team. I feel like we don't give them enough praise. Christians on there on these hot days, on these cold days, on early mornings, late nights. The guys up on these roofs and doing everything possible to get the sharing economy rolling. So shout out to the Reno team, Bridget as well. Like, not a lot of people talk about Bridget, but she's the cell manager up there, and she doesn't get enough praise, obviously, for all of her hard work. So just shout out to the entire Reno team. Shout out to actually the entire World Mobile team for making this, migration a reality, and making this portal a reality. I guarantee you, there's so much endless nights that went into this, and so much hard work that went into this. So just a big thank you to make it all this possible for the community, and for all the great things that are going to come out of this migration. I guarantee you that. And just I'm like losing it right here. Never mind. I'm gonna skip this word. It's too hard for me. But yeah, I just wanted to touch, back on the topic with the World Mobile Alliance and helping people. I mean, I've literally for the past like 4 days, nonstop, all day, been helping people, answering questions on X and DMs and whatnot. And there it is, the little graphic we made. We just want to, just do this for the community, and make sure everyone's taken care of, and make sure everyone's helped and through this migration, because I saw how many questions were being asked on Discord, on Telegram, and so many people, like, they're not crypto friendly, and to them it's sounds scary to do this migration, like, oh, what's gonna happen if I connect my wallet to the wrong website? And like, they're obviously there's an FAQ, and it's a really, really, really simple migration, and the process is very simple, but it might not be simple for people that don't know how to I guess work around themselves with different wallets and things like that. So we just wanted to make sure that we can be there for the community and walk them through it. Maybe, like I said, jump on the live on Discord and answer anyone questions, and do it together with people, like, just migrate different networks and answer people questions on these one-on-one sessions. So this is what we're going to do starting next week. And maybe Rob can, or you, Fareed, can talk a little bit about it. But yeah, just that's all. I mean, thank you to the team, thank you to the community. It was such a great and incredible live session today, one of the best ones we've had so far. So cheers, everyone. I'm excited for next week. It's gonna be tiring, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well. And before I turn over to you, Rob, I mean, I think you summed it up pretty nicely there, Clover, right? So the goal of this is to just make this as simple as possible for anybody, right? We don't want to have any mobile or left behind. If you have any questions, any concerns, if you have any doubt, any fear, right, about whether something is correct or accurate, it's always wise and it's always best to double check. And this hopefully is a way or an avenue for you to do that, right? So I'll share the official World Mobile Alliance Twitter handle. It should already be in the video description here, but make sure to go ahead and follow the World Mobile Alliance. There's also going to be a Discord where we'll be able to interact with you guys, share cameras, share screens as needed, right, to make this process as smooth and as easy as possible for you all. And so, as Clover mentioned earlier, we'll be providing a survey for the community to allow you guys to basically let us know, right, what time works best for you guys to jump on, and for us to sort of walk through whatever requests that you guys might want to actually walk through, right? Whether that's just doing the migration from Cardano to Cardano to base Cardano ETH. And then even if some of you guys are interested, right, going a step further, talking about how you can put your WMTX to work, right? Whether that's through DeFi, lending and borrowing, or even providing liquidity to new ecosystems, for example, like the Aerodrome DEX, which is where World Mobile will be listed on the base network, right? So there's going to be a lot of yield generating opportunities. And we just want to make sure that we provide you guys with all the resources and that you guys are able to do this comfortably moving forward. So hopefully you guys do find this to be of value, but I believe that this is just one of the first things that the WMA is doing to really show that we care and that we're here for the World Mobile community. So Rob, over to you for closing thoughts.
I think it's very important that people remember only to follow official links, and everything that we're going to do, we're not going to be doing it for them. We're not going to be asking for the sharing screens and giving us access to your computers or doing anything like that. what we're going to be doing on these is they're going to be walkthroughs, but we're going to show you on our own wallets what we're doing. You're going to see us make these. We're going to make some videos. We're going to do some live stuff. But you're going to see us doing these transfers with the official links, and we're going to encourage you and have you go step by step with you. And that way, we can be talking and then be on voice together. And so if you have questions as before you hit any buttons, if you're concerned about this at all, if you're not comfortable doing this, we want to make sure that we're there for you, but we're not going to do it for you. We're not going to take control of any of your computer stuff with those programs you can do, like the what do you call them, like the team viewers and those other things. That's not what this is. We're not charging anything for this. This is us being there to make sure that everyone gets it done the right way, following the official links only. World Mobile's going to put out some documentation. They're going to put out some of their videos, and what we're going to do is we're going to just add to it for people that need a little bit of extra personal assistance. And I think this was Cal, this is Fareed that came up with this idea. And that just shows you the character that these guys have and the commitment they have to this community, and just very, very exciting to be able to offer this and just be a part of it for anyone who needs it. And the reality is a lot of people might not need it. But we don't want to assume that everyone is in the same boat. We don't want to assume that everyone has the same knowledge base and comfort level. And so we're here to help. But again, everything that we do will be utilizing official links and just making sure that you're comfortable with what you are doing. So very, very excited to help. The other thing I want to point out is maybe you want to show up for one of these sessions just to watch somebody else do it. But remember, you will lose staking rewards if you do this before the 9th. So you might want to sit on your hands a little bit and just watch or observe or hear stories from other people that are doing it if you don't want to lose staking rewards. Very, very important that you remember that. My last thought for the day is there's a lot going on. You heard everything that Mickey talked about with how they're building, how they're growing, the partners that are waiting, people that there's an influx of money if they want it, but right now they're trying to get through things with the right priority. There's a lot going on. You heard Mickey talk about having a really nice holiday this year, right? That's not just him saying, I hope. I think that's him saying, I know. I think that things are going to go very nicely as we grow this community and as we make these things happen. So I just want to encourage everybody. I made a post the other day. I saw this image and I took it and posted it, but it's a picture of building this tower here. Here's everything that you can do. It's in gold, right? But you see the bricks laid out, everything that you can do today. It's not how much can we get done right now. It's being consistent. I just started training with my 11, almost 12-year-old son. We're doing some personal training with a Bulgarian Olympic wrestling coach, and he was talking to my boy about doing doing a little bit every day to make himself better. He doesn't have to do 100 push-ups a day. What he needs to do is do a few push-ups every day so that he's consistently doing it, because it's not the how much bulk can you do in a day. It's what can you do consistently over time to build good habits and to get things done, to make yourself better. And that's how we build these towers. That's how we accomplish our goals, is by doing a little bit every day. And so I saw this thing. I saw it the same day that the coach told this to my boy, and I just realized this message is meant for me as well. And there's a lot that we're trying to do. There's a lot that I'm trying to do personally in my life, but also for World Mobile and for the Alliance and to grow these things, to accomplish all of my goals. And I know that it gets overwhelming, and so just remember that there's only so much you can do at a time, and don't push it, because you're going to lay a bad foundation. Things aren't going to go the right way. So I just want to encourage everybody as we do this. It might seem overwhelming because there's so many moving parts here with World Mobile. There's so many moving parts with crypto. Is the market going up? Is the market going down? I have to pay insurance and property taxes. So how am I going to be able to buy an air node? How am I going to be able to take a breath, focus, make goals, and then try to accomplish a little bit of that every day. This is a building process here. We can't do it all at once. But that's what we're here to help with. That's what we're here to encourage each other with. I get constantly encouraged, sometimes motivated, sometimes envious by what Cal does and what Cal says. Watching how these guys are growing and what they're doing, it motivates me. But I know that I'm not going to become DApp Central overnight. I'm not going to become Clover Node Stake Pool overnight, just because I'm going to put in 24 hours of hard work. You watch what these guys do daily, and it's just the consistent effort. And I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that we can get to where we want to go. It's just a matter of a little bit every day, being consistent with it. So I hope that encourages you guys just a touch, because that's where I'm at right now. And I've been frustrated a lot lately, but I'm trying just to do what I can little by little to build this thing.
Wonderful words coming in from the official Carta Station team, just reiterating, right, and showing support to Rob. Always be intentional, and I think that applies to just everything that you do in life. I'm not a big believer in doing things halfway. I'm just like, if you're going to do something, you should do it, to the best of your ability. And I think that's what we're all trying to do here, especially as the WMA, again, trying to put our hands to the plow, help out as many people as we can with the migration, putting out educational content, etc. And to that end, for anybody who isn't aware, there will be a push towards bringing some of those channels back to sort of the spotlight here, right? So definitely keep an eye out. There's a lot brewing here, but Rob, just want to let you know that we appreciate you just as much as you appreciate us in the community. Your work doesn't go unnoticed. You're super humble about it, right? And I think that's actually another quality that a lot of people lack nowadays. And so I can definitely appreciate that on you. And just want to reiterate, how much of a pleasure it's been working alongside you and Clover to make all of this available for the community. So as we get ready to wind out here, an awesome stream here for you, the viewers. If you guys are still here with us and you guys just enjoyed any portion of today's live stream, make sure to smash that thumbs up. It's one of the best ways to support us here as content creators. It also helps to spread this message outside to grow the sharing economy. If you want more, consider subscribing to DApp Central. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down in the comment section. I mentioned this, and I'll mention this again as we get ready to go, but make sure to check out all of the official links down below. Join the WMA. Go ahead and join the official Discord servers for World Mobile, etc. That's the best way to make sure that nothing goes wrong with this big upgrade. As it's been mentioned before, this is an opportunity for scammers, and they love these types of opportunities where they know that people have to take action. And so because they know that, they're going to do their best to make sure that, your action is beneficial to them. And we want to reduce that possibility as much as possible. So links down below. Just want to say how much of a pleasure it's been chatting here with the both of you guys, of course, and then bringing on our special guest, Alan, hitting us up here with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Fareed, for the efforts and continuously highlighting I can't even now. I feel like I've got the butt, Clover. I can't speak now. For highlighting real world Cardano based projects, creating and delivering value to people all around the world. Alan, I couldn't thank you anymore. You've been here for a really long time, and so it just goes to show again. Like my thing is as a creator, we're looking to support, and the way that we get that fuel is through comments and through loyal viewers just like yourself. So I just want to say thank you so much for the super chat here. Earthpath, thank you for joining in here. Crypto Mediator, 6U, we've got Carta Station, Jeff, Carlo, Andre, Rocky. I mean, you guys were here for the entire stream. Can't thank you all enough. But that'll do it here for today's video. Hopefully you guys are able to enjoy your weekends, get outside, touch some grass, and relax, because that's definitely what I'm going to be doing. And with that said, we will see you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.